Hello, my name is Mark and welcome to I Am Organic Gardening located in Zone 6B in the state of New Jersey. Wait a minute, the USDA has raised my zone to 7 now, so on average we're about 5 degrees warmer in my area in the state of New Jersey. So if you see other videos and I'm saying I'm in 6B, they've changed it, I haven't, but basically I'm moving up to Zone 7 now. So today I want to go over how something has registered in my mind, and I want to share it with you how beautiful this information is. And it's a fact that 96% of your plant requires just 2 things, and if you understand this simple little fact, and you'll understand organic gardening better, and you'll have better plants in your garden. We have a beautiful squash plant growing early in the season. Today's June 1st. Now, what I want to share with you, it requires just 2 things, which is really 3 elements in those 2 things. It requires carbon from the atmosphere, and it requires water. And water is broken down into 2 more things, which is oxygen, H2O, the O is oxygen, and hydrogen. That's 96% of that plant right there is just those things. So minerals or fertilizer is just basically the other 4%. You have to kind of think about that for a while. I have been grasping this for years, and now the percentages are out. It's done by a Texas University study, and this little guy only needs 4% help more from the soil and the minerals in it that my sand, silt, and clay can provide it to that beautiful little squash plant. And that's for your tomato plants, your potatoes, anything you grow that has a green leaf on it only requires 4% from the soil. So what I'm trying to do is, I just find this again so interesting that just 2 things, meaning our carbon that's in our atmosphere and our water that we get from rain or irrigation, is giving our plant 96% of the things that it requires. And again, 4% is only from the minerals in the ground. So what I'm watching is a lot of people are recommending to put fertilizer, whether it's organic or synthetic, in the garden. That's only contributing to 4%. So I want you to focus not so much on the fertilizer that everybody is recommending and how much and all sorts too. It's important, but not 96% important. It's only important by 4%. The key things, those 2 things, is required to do something to that plant that is going to give it more energy than that 4%. But Mark, if my plant is not turning green and the leaves aren't working properly, isn't that nitrogen? I should give it more nitrogen. Nitrogen even mixed with just 1%. What you're not getting in your soil is soil life microbes. Now, if you haven't heard it, a lot of YouTube channels have been talking about other things in the past, and they're slowly talking about microbes, because it's basically a fact of life that you have microbes in your soil, and these are good microbes. You have your bacteria and your fungi, you have protozoas and nematodes. And that might just go way over your head in 2 seconds, because if you go to a big box store and you look on the shelves, everything is a chemical or something else. It's organic material that they're selling or something like that. You're thinking that it needs this. I'm telling you, and this is going to probably be more information in the future that's going to come around in a circle, but maybe I'm the first one to tell you that it's just those 2 things that you need that are focused. One is easily, you could always rely on yourself to go out there and show that plant that you love it and care for it. And I love gardening and I love watching things grow, is it needs water. And that's one of the key points that I'm trying to stress in this video. That alone is going to take care of at least half of the things that you need on your plant to survive. You're not going to bring those nutrients up into that plant unless you have water. The other thing is carbon. How do we get carbon? You can't buy carbon. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. So what it comes down to is the plant is bringing in carbon from the atmosphere and storing in the soil. So what is storing in the soil? So you want to leave that soil alone, and you don't want to till the soil or disturb it too much. You can disturb it a little bit. It's not going to hurt. That's going to come back. But that storage of carbon in your soil is key to that plant and making it healthy. So here's another example of more plants. Now what we're looking at, and this is my garden where I'm going to plant my tomatoes, and I think it's probably going to be the 5th year in a row I'm going to plant it on the cattle panel trellis in the back. So I want to show you, I haven't even got my tomato plants out yet. Like I said, this is June 1st and we're way behind because the weather was cold. It actually was 50 degrees this morning, and this is again zone 7. So what I want to show you here, this is a weed, and this is crazy. This weed has dominated my garden, and I have a lot of work ahead of me. And what this weed is called, and I'll show a better close-up here, is pokeweed. Now, there's stuff on the internet says it's poisonous, but other people use it for medicinal uses. There's all kinds of controversy about anything that's out there, whether you should use it, not use it. But this is pokeweed, and that's got to be at least 4 feet tall already, almost, or 4 to 5 feet tall. And again, it's only been sprouting up, but it has this enormous root down below. So this pokeweed that I'm showing that's got way out of control requires the same thing as my tomato plant. It requires the same minerals and the same oxygen and the same carbon from the atmosphere. But again, it's relying, that strength of that plant growing so strong requires 96% of it is just to be water and air. So now I want to show you at the base of the pokeweed what I have in my garden. This beautiful stuff. This is called leaf mold, or just fall leaves that I applied last fall. Now, so that's what's important about mulch. Mulch is going to give your carbon back in your soil, and also it's going to retain moisture. That again, which is a huge amount for that plant to have and to stay healthy, 96%. I'm going to say 96% a lot in this video because I want you to walk away with this information that you can feel comfortable and secure about your gardening experience and make everything work for you in the garden. So that 96% is also coming from that moisture in the ground, and your soil is building air pockets in the ground, and also the microbial life, especially the fungi, is separating all those soil particles so it can receive and store water in the ground. And that's what I want to do. That's why I applied this mulch last fall. But again, if you're just starting your garden now, it's also required for you to put mulch on the ground so your plants don't dehydrate or dry out. I want to keep this video short today because I just want you to think about those key facts that I told you about. And if you have questions or you kind of know this already, share with the other people, because I have a lot of great people watching my channel, and I hit over 100,000 subscribers, which is just insane to me. And I want to share with other people this is basic understanding. Organic gardening is the cheapest form of gardening that you can possibly do out there. So you don't have to buy fertilizer, and I'll go into more details in other videos. So what this is about is just sharing information that's available. It's a fact, like I said, it's been done in a study by Texas A&M University. And if you start grasping this knowledge, you will not be fearful in the garden. Just with basic knowledge about how plants have always survived on this planet. Mother Nature is awesome. She's been doing this for years and millions of years, and it's just going so well. So give this a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, because we're all going to work together and we're all going to have successful gardens, because food cost is going insane out there, and I want to be the one to actually bring a little bit of help to you, because you're helping me by watching this video. So I want to share the help back and forth, and I deeply appreciate it. Enjoy your day. I'm losing my voice, and happy gardening. Allergies are kicking in already today. I'll talk to you all soon. Happy gardening.